It's really okay to fold anytime as long as you have tiles to fold with. Hello, it's the Mahjong Jen YouTube channel with special guest Kitty and
Garth here as your second host. And today's special guest is Yumi Uotani. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Boy, there are so many places you might have known her from in all of the conquests. She has won just about everything. Junan-sen, Oi-sen, Juyowoka.
You can just say Women's League, the JPML Women's League.
And she's even won Nihon Open from Kyokai, along with a whole bunch of Mondo events. So those are all the conquests. But the special treat for me and Jen is that we really, really like listening to her commentary. And whatever she has to say about Mahjong, it is just so insightful.
And it always applies to our life in general.
It makes us better in every way. So welcome back to the show, Uotani.
Welcome, and every week we analyze a streamer's hand, a streamer playing Reach Mahjong on either Tenho or Ronron. And this week we are once again featuring the ARML American Reach Mahjong League stream of Queenie710. Make sure you give her a follow and some love. Go cheer her on in her ARML games. And also you can follow all of us. All of our credentials are on the screen in the description. Also, I forgot the last time, make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. Like this video and we will bring you more and more videos with more and more pros. 上谷さん、ありがとうございます。もう一回来ていただいて。
はい、こんにちは。よろしくお願いします。
よし。And baby kitty says hello. なんか邪魔してる猫ちゃんが。
かわいい。
膝に乗っちゃう。So let's take a look at this hand. We're in the first hand of the South round and the West Sea with 29,000 points and actually in third place here after just being tsumoed on. After another player tsumoing a big hand against us. So the Dora is the 7 of Bams, and I think there are no continuances. Okay.
And I don't know, when you look at this starting hand, is there anything that you think, are you feeling in attack mode, or are you kind of feeling, well, let's wait and see what happens?
そうですね。これぐらいだとちょっと一番難しい手かなと思うんですけど、まずは様子見、決めていくっていうほどいいとはあんまり思えないなって感じですね。
So, for example, if in this first round Hatsu comes out, do you pon Hatsu right away, or do you let at least one go by?
そうですね。点数状況的には、まだそこまで絶対上がんなきゃいけないっていう状況ではなくて、手の兼ね合いを考えると、Hatsuは、ポンしない方がバランスは取りやすいかなって思う手ですね。
Balance. Very good. You need balance. Okay.
してもしなくてもいい手なんだけど、しない方が打ちやすそうかなっていう、手を進めやすそうかなっていう手ですね。
Wow, the player across is starting with the 6 of cracks. That's pretty
interesting. By the way, this is the next hand after the hand we just did last week. That player did just draw Mangan. This is the hand where Queenie was waiting for the Sujiso.
You'll notice that she doesn't use the automatic Lihai.
Yes, I was going to make that point too.
She said it makes her concentrate better.
Right.
Which I totally get.
Yeah,
it becomes really automatic when you're playing online, especially.
It also adds for a different way of being able to sort the tiles. Like, for example, you don't have to put all the 2s together. You can put, 1, 2, 3 together, and then 2, 4, 5 together. You want to sort them a different way.
Just anecdote. Anecdote.
自動点数計算が一番大事。
Okay, so can we take a look at the other players' discards for a second?
そうですね。やっぱりまずは仕掛けてる下茶が一番注目ポイントだとは思います。仕掛けが、関連ピンを今地位したじゃないですか。
うんうんうん
で、関連ピンを地位したのに、捨て牌に三蔵ってあって、地位した瞬間に数層を切りましたよね。
うんうん
で、これってちょっと不思議な捨て牌で、半チャンを残してるのに両面を嫌ったんですよ。
うんうんうんうん
だから、考えられることとしては、まずは、金図の本一、もしくは、例えば、チャンタとか、何かしらの手役が絡んでいるか。で、もう一つ考えられるのは、334413、相続3344、金図が13って持っていたとして、二道家を嫌って、三蔵数層って1個、3344だと1個嫌うと両面が1個残るので、を嫌って、関連ピンを残したかっていう、なんか結構どちらかになるのかなって思うので、どちらのパターンも想定して、まずはリャンウソが危ないなってことを頭に入れるっていうことが一つと、はい。で、リャンウソが危なくなかったときは、高い手を狙ってる可能性があるので、高い手への放獣を避けるっていうことを、この2パターンを、まず下ちゃんに対して意識します。
I think that's really good. Most people would see that 3 and 4 and automatically think 2 and 5 is pretty safe, actually.
はいはいはいはい。そうですね。まあ、その両面を嫌うってことは、その何かしらすごい意味が大きくあるので、その意味を考えると、まあ、本当に3、4を嫌ったから、そこの両面がないパターンは高いです。相手の手が。半茶を残して両面を嫌うっておかしなことなんで、高いです。そうじゃなくて、二道家を嫌ったパターンだと、リャンソーが危ないよっていうのも2パターンになるんで、はい。2つを警戒しておくといいかなと。
Okay.
It's always the most obvious meeting, right?
Yeah.
But
And how about, would you be looking at the other players? I mean, the other players' discards are kind of strange as well. It's not like our heroes' discards are pretty normal. That's kind of what you see generally.
はい。トイメンさんは、とりあえず、多分、マンズを最初にいっぱい切って、その後に字を切っているので、まあ、本一の可能性が一番高いのかなっていうふうに思いながら見ます。ただ、この段階でケアできるかっていうと、やっぱりまだ何も、というか、金図もソーズも余ってなくて、本一だとしたらどっちの色だとかがわからないし、ちょっと警戒のしようがまだないのかなって思いますね。上茶に関してが一番難しくて、ごめんなさい、手出しとかをちゃんと覚えてなかったんであれなんですけど、この捨て牌だと早いパターンか、もう結構曲を捨てちゃってるパターンかのどっちかかなって思うので、なんかリーチが来たら警戒はするんですけど、それまではちょっとあんまり警戒しづらいかなって私は思います。
Okay.
いつもこの捨て牌で気にしちゃってると、なんていうか自分の手を進められなくなっちゃうんで、まあリーチが来て初めてっていうちょっと感じになっちゃいそうな気がしますね。
Okay. Great advice. Thank you.
はい。
It's like wonder what other pros are thinking about discards because that's not my strong point at all. Okay, so she's kind of like still watching for the possibility of all pairs, I think. And then we pawn. So I think Garth wanted to talk about this pawn. We said at the beginning that it'd be easier to make the hand without pawning, but the hand has kind of changed since then. So
it has progressed, right? The hand has progressed, but you're still kind of in the situation. You don't have a clearly expensive hand yet. And you've got this other person to your right. You know, definitely their hand is progressing. You know, this is something that I definitely do. You know, I feel like I'm just going to go for it, and then I find myself in a situation where, like, oh man, maybe I would have been in a better situation had I just not tried to push on this hand. Because you know, we're not in a terrible place point wise. It's not like anybody's totally running away with the score. There's still time. This is still the first hand of the South round. Should we be in attack mode here, or should we maybe still be kind of in, well, let's see if something happens?
これは好みもあるから、一概にどっちがいいかは断言はしにくいんですけど、まず下茶がまだピンズだったり、最初の切られてる自敗以外のそういう 金図G とか金図が余ってないっていうのが一応攻めれる理由にはなるかなとは思います。はい。だから、ちょっと攻めてってもう一個泣かれたらやっぱり多分結構テンパイ濃厚だと思うんで、もう一個泣かれたらもう攻めれないけど、もう一個泣かれるか金図が出てくるまではちょっと攻めてみるのもありかなとは思いますね。
Okay, okay.
うん。
Okay, so the pawn is okay. We've decided. Like, no, at first we were against it, but now the hand has changed. So our stance is also. So she does pawn. And then, oh no!
And we do get the chi.
Oh no. So now
And it's
this is where we're going to have to, yeah. This is exactly what Yumi was just talking about with
Right.
one more call, and there it is. So,
これ何出てくるのかな。
oh,
Jeez.
okay, let's see. This is 6.
あ、6万。
So they still had 6 in their hand after that.
うん。
Oh. 結構
そうですね。6万なのが、6万かって思うんですけど、これでピンだったら 100% ダメなんですけど、もしかしたら、テンパイしてないかも。ピンズのテンパイしてないかも。なんですけど、でも、じゃあ自分の手が、じゃあこれ放充してもいいぐらいの価値があるかっていうと、まあないかなって思うから、この脳天の状態で、危ない牌持ってきたら、回る、迂回するっていう風にした方がいいかなと思いますね。
What would be a dangerous tile here?
Well, I guess any pinzu or something around Dorda, like maybe Dorda itself.
Okay. What happens? I can't wait to see.
Oh, it gets even more exciting.
Okay. Oops.
危ないね。これは危ない。うん。
Okay, so she's tempai now.
Okay.
So what would an alternative have been for that 7 dot?
リャンワン
Liang?
一応イーシャンテンなんかに受けつつ、まあ、スワもイーシャンテンなんですけど、リャンワンのが形がいいイーシャンテンになるんで、はい、受けつつ、まあ、テンパイしたらどうしようかなっていう感じになるのかなっていう。6万統一落とし。結構アグレッシブにいきましたねっていう感じですね、下茶さんは。これまだ脳天かも。うん。
あと、
これ脳天って読めますね、多分。あ。
Oh, she's just turning on the don't call for tiles.
Don't call for tiles, meaning that
There's
means she has no intention of conning the pa pim.
No, she didn't turn it on. She just was hovering over it.
Oh, okay. Because it's coming.
What happens here? I mean, there are no 8s out. I think that I would probably just discard the 2. Tsumogiri, I would just discard what I drew, but...
急走を切りますね。
Oh.
You're so cute.
Hi.
Oh. So for me, my feeling is obviously you have to win on Dorda here. It's a much less likely win. And even for the amount of points, does that make the difference in why you would choose the more difficult win? Or is there something else you're thinking here?
ガースは多分上がりやすさでカンパソの方がいいって思ってると思うんだけど、私は上がりやすいからとかじゃなくて安全に行きたいから急走を切る。別にこの状況って多分トイメンさんもソーズも染めてる可能性もあるし、パーソーも別に上がりやすい牌と私は思わなくて、そう、これが例えば急走がローソーだったら、ウッパーソーだったら私もリャンマン切るんですけど、これがあんまりどっちにしろ上がりやすいと思ってないから、この後降りることも考えて一旦急走切るって感じ。急走がトイメンさんが切ってる牌だったから。
なるほど。降りることもあるから。
降りが前提です。だって、棒にだけど、形がすごく悪いし、かなり終盤にチーソー短期だと上がれなそうだし、正直カンパス走でもあんまりそんなに上がれそうかって言うとそんな上がれそうじゃないし、点数と形と状況があんまり似合ってないから、私は、この後降りることも見越して一旦急走を切る、安全な急走を切るっていう感じで、この後状況に応じてもう危ない範囲引いてきたら私は多分打たないっていう感じの、一旦チーソー短期に受けるかぐらいのチーソー、上がろうとあんまり思ってないって感じですね。
Okay, boy, that is definitely something that I always forget. Like I get into that mode where I'm like, okay, I'm just going straight ahead. Yeah, I guess so. I wouldn't even occur to me that throwing QSO is actually a beginning of you possibly even just giving up the hand.
他の人のなんか出方を見ながら決めるって感じですね。
そして、
積極的。これも難しくて、今見てると、まず、上茶は多分降りてます。で、トイメンさん、いそうかもと思ったけど、結構やめてるかもって思ったんですよ。守備してるかもって、途中ぐらいから。正直、下茶が一番謎で、下茶はもしかしたらテンパイしてないかもって私は思っちゃったんですよ。ローマンってね、手出しして、その後チーマンも手出しだったから、テンパしてないかもって私は思っちゃって、するかも。
Maybe they're just switching tiles around. It kind of looks like, yeah.
そう。相手を見てやっぱりするかしないかって決めるんですけど、相手を見てたらこれもしかしたら私だけがテンパイかもと思ってカンするっていう感じ。この手だけ見たらカン絶対しないんだけど、他の人のなんか進行を見てると、テンパイしてないかもしれないなって思ったらカンした方が有利かもしれないなって感じです。
攻めてもいいか。なるほど。Interesting.
Garth is learning so much.
Yeah. Certainly changing a lot of the ways expanding my way of thinking. For sure.
Okay.
Oh. してたね。してた。
They were Ishanten probably at that point. Not quite ready, but also not folding. So when they reach here, you said before that you were ready to fold. Are you still ready to fold, or does the con lock you in a little bit more? So
カンしたけどすぐ降ります。やっぱり上がれる手とはそんなに思わないし、点数も上がったとはいえ6400点。
The thing I was wondering back to is then that so then the E pin that she threw Ipatsu, probably that would, instead of that, Otani would have thrown Sanman.
そうですね。これカンしてリーチ来ちゃって E ピン持ってきたらごめんなさいって言って降ります。3万切る。E ピンは通りそうなんですけどワンチャンスだし、結構通りそうではあるけど、でもそれ通らなかった時がやっぱり代償が大きいから私は降りますね。
And I think that's a huge point that we see a lot. Just because you've conned and your tempai doesn't mean you have to be committed to the hand. It's okay to fold even after you've called for tiles. It's really okay to fold anytime as long as you have tiles to fold with. That's a super important point. And they tsumoed, so it ended up not being.
So the on-con, or the con gave, what, 3 more Dora?
Yeah, but I mean, when we conned, we thought that they were not folding. Right. So yeah. Yes, フリテン twice.
Oh wow.
フリテンだ。
Remember we had talked about that the whole time. The first
して入りの基本は読めないね。
勘があったからリーチ買ってみること。
ですね。
So
ね、こういうことあるから怖いね。
So I think this really goes back to what we were talking about last week, where when you make the decision you make, it has to be sort of, you're thinking about what's going to happen in the future, right? Am I going to regret this decision in the future no matter what happens, or is this, is it really a right decision right now?
今回私もこうやって見てて、この手だけ見たら絶対関しない手なんだけど、 もしかしたらみんなテンパイしてないかもなって思って関したっていうこの意思が大事というか、それを自分で考えて選択したってことが大事で、やっぱり関するしないも何でも関だとやっぱりちょっと危ないかなって思うんで、特にこう暗関じゃなくて過関って相手のね裏側だけ増やしちゃうんで、そこをこう自分でどっちがこの状況だったらいいのかなって。もちろん誰も撤廃してないなら関した方が自分のドラが増える可能性あるし、でもみんな撤廃してるんだったら関しちゃったら危ないから、その辺は自分でこう考えながら読みながらやっていくって感じになりますね。
Before the hand started, it would have been good to have a clear idea of what you were aiming for, because I think the hand kind of the way it progressed, it was kind of just every decision. Oh, well, now I'm going to go this way, and then now I'm going to go this way. Well, now I'm going to go this way, and it kind of ended up being like, oh my gosh! By the end of it, like, oh wow, kind of it could have played out very differently had there been a different plan as it was going along.
We just love talking to you so much that our episodes have been a little bit longer. So, which means our recording is a little bit longer, but I hope that you will stick with us for the last two hands as well. Thank you so much. Week number 2 with Yumi Uotani. If you would like your hand featured on Prost, if you are playing on Ronron or on Tenho, go ahead and send us your VODs. Just a link to your VODs. We will look through it and find hands that we want to talk about to this YouTube channel. Find us on Twitter. I'm Mahjong Jen. That's Garth E, Garthee. Make sure you show some love to our guest, Uotani-san. You can follow her on Twitter and Instagram and also YouTube.
はい、あります。
We didn't talk about this. She's like a gaming queen as well. Not just
really?
Mahjong. Yeah.
Oh, super.
So for like over a decade. Yeah. So make sure you follow her on YouTube, follow her on Twitter, follow her on Instagram, follow her on everything.
Yeah, well, that's it for today's show. Thank you to Yumi for showing us again the beauty of perfectly logical mahjong. And thanks to all of you for watching. Join Jen and me and Uotani for a couple more episodes, and we will all figure out how to get enough advice to finally play like a pro.
Thank you so much. ありがとうございました。また
ありが
来週。
とう。
See you next
Thank you
week.
so much.
Game over.